Hello. How y'all doing? Whoa, that's quiet, yo. How y'all doing? You better get amped up for your boy right now, man. Yo. All right, so thank you for that introduction. Thank you for having me. My name is Dr. Kris Alexander, and Google calls me the professor of video games. If you go to Google and type in the professor of video games, you'll see ya boy. All right, let's get this party started because I'm supposed to give you a tight 5. Today's presentation is called, say it with me now, AI. Your turn. Come on, you can get hyper than that. AI. All right, cool. There's so much talk, so much hype about AI. What are we going to talk about today? 4 core areas. I got 5 minutes. They told me type 5. Let's do it. I'll talk about how I use AI in online educational modules. From there, I'm going to head over to integrating AI in classroom technology. Y'all are probably going to take a lot of notes. Don't worry, I put QR codes for you. And then we're going to talk about how I use AI for the future of coding and those skills. Y'all taking out cameras already, man. Wow. All right. And lastly, AI in education. Let's get this party started. All right, number 1, we are looking at online AI modules. I'm about to destroy school for y'all right now. Note-taking is over. How many of y'all have heard of a software tool called Note? Show of hands. Yo, I'm about to destroy your lives. Put your phone in your classroom and have it summarize your entire lecture. You don't have to be there unless it's engaging, and I can tell by your faces right now, you're going to be in my classes. But Note will change your life. You can scan the QR code right there. It's great for staff meetings as well. I was doing some work with the Canada Media Fund, and we were doing meetings, and they're like, Kris, can we get a summary of the notes? I was like, yo, I take copious notes. Just joking, I take Notes. All right. Let's keep it moving. That's the end of the first one. Let's look at integrating AI into classroom technology. Now, you're looking at a photo here. We ran a workshop last year in the Red Bull Gaming Hub, of which I am the director. Okay, backstory. When I was 14, I learned how to build computers on my own. And then I promised if I ever grew up, which I didn't, I would teach kids at the same age how to build computers. So we selected 12 communities from 12 members of underserved communities and taught them how to build computers. But how did I do that? How did I teach them how to build their own computers when they were gone? I taught them how to use ChatGPT and the prompt starting with act like. How many people have used act like before? Show of hands. So few. Oh, there's quite a bit. Let's go. So you can tell ChatGPT to act like any motherboard or PC and say, hey, how do I put things together with you? And it'll speak as the computer. Did you know you could do that? All right, well, that's what I taught those 14-year-olds who you're going to employ in some way, shape, or form in the future. That's the end of the second one. Let's move on to future coding skills. How many programmers outside of the one that we saw earlier today, how many humans in this audience are coders? All right, what is the most important thing when you're coding with a group of folks? It starts with the letter C and ends with commenting. All right, got it. So we're looking at using a tool like Perplexity because commenting is king. When you're prompting for help with code, wouldn't it be great to also add at the end of your prompt to add code commenting to each code section so I understand what you're doing? How many people use AI to add comment codes? Anybody? Yo, look at how few hands. I see one, yo. What's the deal? Teach yourself. All right, and the last area, we've got AI in education. Now, you may not know this, but I myself have worked on 7 different GPTs so far. I'm going to show you the link to the most popular one. It's called the Job Automatic Application Machine, also known as the JAM. And here's an example of how it works. You go to your favorite website that has a job, let's say like hitmarkerjobs.net, video games and esports jobs. Fun fact, I don't work for them yet. And you just copy the URL of the job. You paste that into the JAM. Let me get out of the way so y'all don't put me in. I'm still on parole. Just joking, I'm not. Okay, so then you go to your LinkedIn profile. You go to the More section. You can export your profile as a PDF, and then you upload that to ChatGPT. Then what does it do? It automatically starts showing you where your superpowers, that is what you can do, connect with a job posting you put. At the end, it'll say, hey, they're asking for a cover letter. Do you want me to help you draft one based on what you have there? And all you have to do is type, yes. All right. There are some other ones there. I don't know what my time is like, but I'm going to wrap it up. The last one I will share with you is the comic homework assistant. I can't even read that, yo. What is it? What did you say? Reading machine. Thank you, man. Holy cow. All right. So here's the story. My daughter, she was 10 at the time. She comes up to me. We go to French school. Y'all know about Vie au monde. C'est en français, complètement en français. Okay, we got French speakers. Yo, I heard some Montreal. Okay, all right, cool. All right, cool. So my daughter came home one day. She said, Daddy, I had a math test, and I got a B-. I said, all right, baby girl, do you want to do better? She said, yeah. So I asked her, who's your favorite cartoon character? And she says, Korra from the Avatar, obviously. And so I take a picture of her French homework, and then I say into ChatGPT, write me a story in the Avatar universe where my daughter is teaching the Avatar only the correct answers to the answer she got wrong on this test, translating from French to English as individual comic book panels. And I hit enter. And look, this guy's like, yo, this guy's prompts are gangster, right? Yeah, I see it. All right, something up here. All right, so it gave me 12 different panels. One at a time, I took each one of those comic book panels and I put them back into ChatGPT and said, Ayo, well, I didn't say Ayo, generate me those images. And I put every single one of those pictures on a PDF and I handed it to my daughter. And I watched her read it and go, oh, I get it now, because it was her reading the correct answers to her hero, or heroine, if I'm allowed to say that still. So that's another way that you can use AI to your benefit. It's here, it's a tool, it's for you. That should be a tight enough 5. And I also, how many of y'all know about Pi? We know about Pi. Pi is so fire. All you have to do is talk to it. I've made complete video games by washing dishes. It shows up as a phone. Let me get out of the way. Still on parole, just joking. And you can just talk to it. And you can add a voice. Mine says, hello, Dr. Kris Alexander. How can I help you today? And then I talk to it, and it can break things down. Has a history. All right, and Quillbot. Yo, my nephew, he's going into grade 9, and I was chatting with him at the dinner table in French, but I'll translate it. He was like, Chris, all we do now, if we want to write essays, is we start off in ChatGPT, and then we remix it inside of Quillbot. Perhaps I just ruined school for many of y'all. All right, here we go. That is the end. That's what I'm supposed to do. Are there any questions from our live studio audience? Let's go. Y'all have been the best. If you want to connect with me, here's the way to do it. If y'all want me to be a speaker in your town, I'll click to the next slide. Look at all these smiles. Y'all are the best. All right. Any questions from our live studio audience?
Okay. Questions? Stand up when you ask the question, please.
Hi, Chris.
Hello.
So I just had a brief question. It's more about prompt engineering. What would you give in terms of tips to get better results based on your prompts?
Okay, is there an example that you can give me? This is my favorite thing. People ask me this all the time. What's your problem?
So one of the examples I've done, I've tried to use ChatGPT to export Excel data, and I've been trying to categorize it based on sentiment to put different categories of like food, utilities, etc., and basically total the amounts on Excel. The issue I'm having is that it's not able to correctly categorize it because it doesn't understand fully what the purchase is made by.
What version of ChatGPT were you using?
For O.
For O?
Yeah,
Yo,
I'm using the newest model.
I was using O to generate Excel files, like XLS files. So what it's possible to do, and what I've been doing, is actually taking screen captures of my Excel and asking it to output an XLS, because it has problems ingesting XLS files, but it's really good at reading full tables. Have you tried that?
I've not, because I've actually input it with Excel workbooks instead.
I know. And sometimes it's like, what is this? Is this Microsoft? Was there another error that crashed the airports? These kind of things. But if you just give a picture, oh, y'all got that? Okay, cool. But if you just give it a picture, it can only read what's there. Remember, when you're prompting, be as specific, or as my kids would say, Pacific as possible. Does that make sense? Does that answer your question?
Yes, and would you recommend any other format other than PDF?
I would do JPEGs and PNGs. That's what I typically do. But PDFs are great when you're like extracting data from academic papers, fun fact. Anyway, so yeah, I tend to use JPEGs.
Thanks so much, Chris.
No problem. Next question. Yeah. Oh, you guys are probably like, yo, this guy prompts? Yo, ask me questions. I'm ready, yo.
Thank you. To your last AI that you used, are you interested in making a AI that is similar to Turnitin, but for AI check-in?
Say that again?
Are you interested in making a AI that is similar to Turnitin so that people aren't overusing AI in academic situations?
So I love AI.
Yeah.
I think that if you want to spend $32,000 to use AI to conquer your papers, two things. Yo, y'all have cake to burn. Second of all, In my class, so my classes, I'm actually teaching my class here. My class, I teach Introduction to Game Design. It started at 80. This year it was 270. Next year we're teaching in here to 1,200 students. Now what's interesting there, none of my classes are mandatory. So what does that mean?
They're engaging.
They're engaged. So if I used to give out an essay, it was when you would write your own narrative for a video game. This year I'm switching it. Everybody has to submit a 1-minute video summarizing the kind of game they would make. And I also teach them how to produce it because I know you're paying that money. So it's my responsibility to teach you the tech, but also show you how to get your money's worth. If I keep recycling my essays, what am I doing for your pocket? Yo, that's disrespectful. But that's my answer. Use it up.
All right.
It's your cake. And in my classes, you won't be there. Hopefully you are. Every week, I'm putting a counter of how much money each student has paid per week for my classes.
Okay.
Yeah, when people start thinking about that, I'm like, yo, I can either go see a Kevin Hart concert or I can come to this class. Yo, it's a performance. I hope that answers your question.
Thank you, sir.
All right, let's go.
Hello, good evening. This is inspiring. Thank you for that.
You're inspiring.
Oh, thank you. I stand up because of that. Okay, so I was wondering, you seem to be a very busy person and have multitude of different things to do. Is there a specific time that you code, or it is spread throughout the day?
Excellent question. I wake up every day at 4 a.m. My kids wake up at 7, so that answers that question. I was able to teach myself Unreal Engine in a year, and I'm now an Unreal Engine authorized instructor. How did I do that? Well, I used to do it by telling ChatGPT to act as Unreal Engine, speak to me as if I'm 5, and give me curriculum-based answers in the form of a YouTube video script when you respond to me. That makes sure that the information is engaging, and I'll give you another secret of how I do it. My TED Talk, which you can see online, I learned it in 2 weeks. How did I do that? I wrote the entire TED Talk, and then I exported that text into an MP3, and I listened to it when I walk the dog, when I'm washing the dishes, when I'm riding to work, and it's just a song. I would just sing it. You have this ability of AI, and one of the pieces of software I used was called ReadBit, and then there's another one called Voice PDF on Android. But it'll allow you to listen to your learning at any point in time. My TED Talk talks about that. The way that I engage with information is by listening. So everything gets converted into audio, and I walk and I talk about it. I used to do sound design and audio engineering, which is why I'm holding the mic like this and not like this. You notice that? Y'all think I'm a rapper up in here? Anyway, does that answer your question? I'm very disciplined, as you can see. 4 a.m. to 7. Every day I learn something new. Next question. This is, yo, the question period is way longer than the talk. You knew that. Let's go.
Hi. For somebody who wakes up at 4 a.m. like you, where do you get all that energy from? Because it's clearly not from AI.
So you do know I'm a Red Bull supported scholar. Just kidding. No. Here's the thing. So I feel very fortunate to have this job. I've been playing a minimum of 2 to 4 hours of video games every day since the age of 8. To be able to turn the thing that I love into the thing that I share with others that they voluntarily come to see, that's what keeps me going. You keep me going. Do you understand? That was quick. Y'all got traumatized
One more
by that one. I
question.
didn't hear anything. Yeah, let's go.
It's a game design question.
Oh, let's go.
Okay, so if you would be like brainstorming together with AI subject matter expert bots, what kind of game loops do you see there to make it more engaging for the humans who are brainstorming together with AI?
Wait, I missed the genre and kind of game you were talking about. Can you say it again?
Like it's a brainstorming platform. You have AI bots and you have humans thinking together, coming up with new concepts, new ideas. What kind of game design loops do you see there that would make the experience more engaging for humans?
2 options. Have you ever played Animal Crossing New Horizons?
Just my kids.
Amazing. So you've watched them do it. You see how the little avatars walk around and converse with each other?
Absolutely.
That's one way. The other way you could do it is by using Twine with a choice-based text adventure, where you're putting in things. The other way you could do it is just to create an LLM that is a game design like either boss or agent or artist that becomes a specific, I'll say persona because we have gamers in the room, and answers you specifically. It all depends on what you're trying to do. The games that I'm making, for example, one game I'm making is called Bread Type, where it's a typing game for my kids where you have to type Dolce sight words, but those words that come are actually recipes that geolocatively you can make. So it's all about like the purpose of your game. But if the purpose is to make money, it's not going to work unless you're with one of them big companies. Does that answer your question? Also,
Absolutely.
I am a juror for the Canada Media Fund, and we fund roughly $14 to $17 million every year of ideas, and one of those ideas is prototyping and testing. So check that out because you'll probably be able to get some funding if the idea is strong enough.
Okay.
I know that answers your question.
Can I message you on LinkedIn about that?
Yeah, man. Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
No problem.
Thank you.
All right, they told me no more questions. I'll see y'all later.
Round of applause.
Woo!
Our